If you're managing Google Ads for small clients, you need to give them a report they can understand that helps them make good marketing decisions, including, hopefully, retaining your services. Now, if you're just sending them an automated dashboard, you're asking them to find the needle in the haystack to discover their own strategic insights and recommendations, which is probably why they hired you in the first place. I'm Amy Hebden with Paid Search Magic, and I've got a free Google Data Studio template for you to use to keep your clients updated, specifically mom and pop clients with small budgets. Now, this template actually works twice as hard for you by doubling as an internal dashboard so that you can keep your discovery process separate from the insights you send to clients. In this video, I'm going to show you what's in the template, how to set it up and customize it, how to share it with clients, and most importantly, how to keep it updated and relevant each month so it continues to tell an important story to your clients and helps them to take action. Now, what we've got here is our Google Data Studio template for our mom and pop client, and it's populated with a sample data source from Data Studio. Now, these sections in yellow will automatically update on the first of every month, and these sections in red will not. But if all you're doing each month is updating some text boxes, you're not leveraging the full power of using Data Studio for reporting. Now, everything in this template is editable, but let's look at what's in it by default. In the header section, we have the page title, which you can rename, the month that we're reporting on, and placeholders where you'll swap in your company and client logos. Month over month has your KPIs and some scorecards for key metrics. We also have some charts that provide deeper insights into top keywords and search terms. Now, if you've got an e-commerce client rather than lead gen, your KPI can easily be updated from conversions to conversion value and from CPL to ROAS. Now, looking at year-over-year trends, here you can provide some written context to your client to explain high-level trends of what's been happening over the last year, and you've also got some 13-month look-back charts comparing different metrics so you can see how this January compared to last January. Now, insights and recommendations is the section you're going to take the time to update each month with actual analysis to help your client understand performance. Most small business owners are not going to just look at a series of marketing charts and immediately know what to do with it. So this is where you'll help them interpret performance and know what to do next. Now, the default text includes several prompts and ideas for how to approach it. Now, this unnamed section here is for shiny charts. These are not mission critical charts, but in our experience, there are certain visualizations that clients love to see even if they aren't actionable. So while you probably won't and probably shouldn't take action on state-level conversion data, I'm including this chart rather than a more useful chart because it's easy to look at and understand what's happening. Clients also tend to love to see how their competitors are doing compared to them, so this Action Insights scatter plot lets them scratch that itch. Now, when you send this report to your client, they'll just see it as a one-page report, but as I mentioned earlier, there are actually 2 pages. So once we go up here and click on Edit, that's where we'll see the second page. So over here, page 1 of 2, we see we also have an internal dashboard which has settings set to hide in page view mode. This won't show up when your clients have view access, and it won't show up if you download the report. It's just for you. You can think of this like scratch paper to do more in exploration and discovery. Now, there's nothing special about the visualizations on this page, and I strongly encourage you to replace it with charts that are meaningful for the story you're trying to explain to your clients. The reason I'm including these in here is 1, to get the report rolling on a hidden page, and 2, give you a foundation with some examples of how to set this up. For instance, this search terms table is both too busy and too redundant to share with clients, but it's great for internal exploration. I can tell at a glance that our top search term by clicks had 44% of the clicks while accounting for 23% of the total spend and 60% of our conversions. Now, that's really useful to me if I'm trying to put context into my report analysis without having to do extra calculations each time. You can compare performance by periods of time, paid search compared to other channels, or progress to goal by segment. Now, comparison data can get crowded real fast, so just keep adding pages as you like. Just make sure that you see the little crossed out I before you send this to your clients. Now, you'll find a link in the description box to access the template, and from here, just click Use Template in the top right. Now, you'll be prompted to keep the original data source or choose one of your own. Now, either one is fine, but if you don't know how to add a data source, I'll link to a video that walks you through how to do it. Now we're just going to click Copy Report. Now up here, you can change the name to a more appropriate name for your client report. Now let's start to modify. First, let's do a quick review of the comparison colors in our scorecards. Now, this is something you'll need to pay attention to if you update these metrics. I'm using red to indicate a decrease in form fills and an increase in cost per leads. If either of these comparison metrics improve, let's just jump over to style here. You can see that they will turn from red to green. Now for metrics where I'm not trying to communicate good or bad, such as total spend or impressions, I like to change both the increase and the decrease to gray. Now, a client-facing report is more than the sum of automated visualizations and some updated text. To tell the story of the data, you first need to review and understand the data yourself. Now, in this month's report instance, form completions are down 60%. The report needs to address why that happened, what, if anything, is being done to course correct, and what should happen next. Now, I've seen a lot of marketers try to cheat insights by just describing the metrics in the report. Like, form fills are down 60% because cost per lead is up 30% and we had 50% fewer clicks. Now, this is where I'd go back to my internal dashboard and start looking for insights. Here we can see that all the campaigns were down for several weeks. So I'd want to not only mention that in the analysis, that they were down, why they were down, if that was expected or planned or surprising, but I'd probably also want to swap out that keywords table or the shiny charts and include this sort of graph that would help visualize what happened. Now, this is just one example. You can also look at other channel performance or external factors and trends like seasonality and competition. But I would not deliver this report to my client without explaining why spend is down 50% and why leads are down 60% and what we can expect for this coming month. If you had to tell clients that their KPI is down 60%, you might not want to send them a report at all. But it's important to keep your clients informed of impact so they can take appropriate action. Now, what's the best way to do that? Well, I highly recommend downloading as PDF so that your clients have a permanent copy of the report. Remember that this report automatically updates on the first of the month, making last month's analysis obsolete. Now, if you do want to link to the live version as well so they can interact with it, you've got a lot of options for sharing up here in the right corner. Just make sure you set the right expectations if the version you share has an expiration date. Now, one more note is that it can be a little bit tricky to get the sharing settings right. So you might think you're sharing data with your client and you actually aren't. So before you send this to anyone, grab the link and open it in an incognito window to make sure it actually works. Marketers are always looking for templates. Not only does building from scratch take time, it also requires a lot of design and technical experience. But templates don't need to be set it and forget it, and good reporting is rarely plug and play. I hope this report gets you thinking about what you should be automating and what you should be manually updating so it's of most use for your clients. Now, if this was useful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more Data Studio videos. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments, and above all, have fun with your report.